Good morning to all of you on this Sunday, June 28th, 2020. And our Holy Gospel for today is recorded in Matthew, the 10th chapter, verses 40 through 42. Whoever welcomes you welcomes me, and whoever welcomes me welcomes the one who sent me. Whoever welcomes a prophet in the name of a prophet will receive a prophet's reward. And whoever welcomes a righteous person in the name of a righteous person will receive the reward of the righteous. And whoever gives even a cup of cold water to one of these little ones in the name of a disciple, truly I tell you, none of these will lose their reward. We all know that water is crucial for sustaining life, particularly in a dry climate. Jesus lived in a dry climate, a climate where water was and is crucial for sustaining life. The climate affected the culture as climate always does. Being a person of his own culture, Jesus spoke about many things in the terms understood by people in his own culture. He spoke about welcome and about hospitality in terms of sharing water. Jesus tells us that the quality of our welcome to others and our hospitality, even in little things like a glass of water, reflects the depths of our spirituality. And if we hear this comment alongside other things, Jesus said in the Gospels, we hear it, the quality of our welcome and our hospitality says far more about our spirituality than the amount of time we spend talking about religion to other people. The quality of our welcome and our hospitality says far more about our spirituality than the actual length of our prayers. The quality of our welcome and our hospitality says far more about our spirituality than the details of our beliefs, however orthodox or however pioneering they may be. The quality of our welcome and our hospitality says much about who we are as Christians. And this is particularly evident in what happens when the church does what it does, when we are most fully being the church. When we are most fully being ourselves, the Christian church is a people who shares food and drink. Now, this is something that is good news for many congregations, because hospitality and welcome are things that churches and other faith communities are frequently very good at. Whatever the denomination, whatever the faith, hospitality is one area in which many congregations excel. People of faith tend to be people who frequently share food and drink. In our outreach to the wider community and to the world, this is also seen. People of faith put great energy into efforts to share with the world in need at its most basic level of need. We are a people who shares food and drink. And particularly for ourselves as Christians, hospitality is at the heart of who we are. And this is the case whether the hospitality extends to, yes, a cup of cold water, maybe a cup of coffee and a biscuit, a meal and a glass of wine, or maybe a box of assorted groceries for people in need locally, or for the funding of programs assisting people in third world countries to become more self-sufficient in their own food production. In other words, hospitality is at the heart of who we are as Christians. Our message from Jesus is that generosity, hospitality, and a warm sense of welcome are what we should all be doing. And we should always remember that as a faith community, on those occasions when we are privileged to have children in our midst, we have the opportunity to encourage the children around us to indeed follow the way of Jesus. At one level, that includes teaching them to pray, helping them to develop some understanding of the beliefs and stories of the Christian faith, and developing a link with the worshiping congregation so that the children really do feel a sense of belonging among the church as we worship together. But encouraging a child to follow in the way of Jesus doesn't end with the religious stuff. In many ways, the religious stuff is the easy bit. The hard bit will be for us to encourage in the children we encounter those qualities of generosity and hospitality and welcome that are central to the way of Jesus. The reason that this is the hard bit has nothing to do with the children themselves or with ourselves, but with the culture in which we live. Much of our Western culture in 2020 is an active denial of some of those qualities. Thus, we have a difficult task ahead of us to encourage children to live a life of generosity in the midst of a culture that says, get everything you can for yourselves. To encourage children to live a life of hospitality and welcome in the midst of a culture that increasingly teaches us to fear the stranger and to hate the person who is different. And in a culture where, sadly, even some churches teach us to fear the stranger and to hate the person who is different. Jesus tells us the quality of our welcome to others and our hospitality, even in little things like a glass of water, does indeed reflect the depths of our spirituality. To God be the glory. Please remember that we are strong, that patience is a virtue, and that we are together in spirit. Amen, and have a good day.